Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Welcome everyone. Nice to be with you today. Today is Saturday, February the 5th. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Very nice to be with you. We have a very exciting session as always. Looking forward to sharing with you where we left off last Saturday upon the strategies of light and darkness that will continue. So we'll wait to welcome you a little bit. And let's start with our first kind of invocation from our messenger, Elizabeth Clay Prophet. Jay, can we have that invocation, please?
O thou infinite light, intensify thy presence in each heart. Take us to the very heart of Lord Krishna. Take us to the heart of Brahma. Take us to the heart of Vishnu. Take us to the heart of Shiva. Take us to the heart of Saraswati. Take us to the heart of Lakshmi. Take us to the heart of Durga. Take us to the heart of the great Kali. O universal light, transport our souls to the Shambhala of the East, that we might be the anchoring point east and west for the new translation of the ancient teachings. I call in this hour for the binding of the false hierarchy of India and of Hinduism. I demand the binding of all false gurus and false chelas. Let the followers of the great avatars intensify their light. Let all those in the etheric octaves draw nigh. Let the full power of the world religion of the Divine Mother descend upon us in this hour. Let the four quadrants of being be redefined, and let the power of the white flame rise upon the altar from the base unto the crown. Transport us, O God, to that point where high in the Himalayas the physical octave merges with the etheric, to the hearts of the true adepts and their devotees. Even as this Western Shambhala is the place where the physical and the etheric octaves blend, O God, let us be the anchor points here and at Lake Titicaca for the manifestations of Himalaya, the God and Goddess Meru, Lord Devasvata Manu, and the great Divine Director. O devotees of Himalaya, O devotees in the cave of light, O devotees who have held now the traditions of India since long before the sinking of Atlantis, enter our hearts, O mighty Brahman, restore us to the Word with thee in the beginning. Come forth, Brahman. By the power of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, in the heart of the Divine Mother, we are sealed in this meditation.
So we are ready to move on with our program today. Like to wait a few more minutes to welcome you. We're going to be focusing on the strategy of light and darkness, and one of the important pillar of reconnecting or strengthening ourselves or reassuring ourselves that we are in the with the source of our connectivity with our higher self, which is our I am that I am, or Om Tat Sat Om, or Om. So I was thinking about last night which will be the better or the best meditation for us to really move into that realm of spirituality. So there is I found this beautiful threefold flame meditation. It's about 5 minutes long. Uh, yeah, and I think it will give us a reassurances that we have a threefold flame in our heart, and that's as we move on to our workshop portion of it, that we can kind of we will talking about that quite a bit today about the threefold flame and why what is so important. So I think this meditation is kind of really key um, pillar or key milestone for us to really get started from this point forward. So Jay, can we have the picture of the threefold flame, and then we play the meditation? It's called the expanding the threefold flame in our heart. We have played that before a few times, but I think it is appropriate during this cycle of what we are doing to really reconnect and rehear it and re-practice it and re-experience it.
Expanding your threefold flame. Close your eyes. Go within and center your awareness in your heart. Breathe deeply several times until you feel calm and centered. Visualize the blue, yellow, and pink plumes within the secret chamber of your heart. See all three as equal in size and in perfect balance. Imagine your threefold flame beginning to spin clockwise, gradually rotating faster and faster. As the plumes spin, see their colors blending into a shimmering, glistening mother-of-pearl light. Visualize this iridescent light growing larger and larger. See it filling your chest cavity and expanding to surround your entire body. Attune your inner ear to the sound of this immense spiritual flame. Listen as its quiet, steady vibration gradually intensifies and immerses you in the sound of its sacred fire. Experience the light and sound of your heart flame, raising your consciousness higher and higher until it connects you to the universal sound of the Om. Sound the Om. Gently bring your awareness back into your heart. Slowly open your eyes and become aware of your surroundings.
It was appropriate, beautiful meditation. You can practice it, as often you can during daytime and during before you go to bed or during meditation or whenever you have a little window for 5 minutes or so. So we're going to be starting. Let me welcome on behalf of Chananda Culture Society all of our friends who have joined us. Welcome JP Saab, Dr. Ranjit ji, welcome Pooja, Nikhale ji, welcome Shabia, Talwar ji, welcome Alka ji, welcome Belinda ji, welcome Satija ji, welcome, and Neerav ji, welcome. So we're going to be continuing our the strategies of light and darkness. I want to give you a footnote. How to really, just kind of refresh ourselves that who we really are. Because sometimes when we listen to these strategies of light and darkness, it seems like sounds very good in theory. You can say, well, it's very good. But how do you apply that? It's very difficult because everything seems so impossible or so difficult or so challenging or just and I agree with everything that I've said and everything that you might be thinking that I have not said, and that is true. And I think the masters have put this strategy of light and darkness, 33 strategies so called, through Mark and Elizabeth K. Prophet, because there is a need and there is a need to acknowledge what we are up against. Because if you go to, like any army goes to battle, and there's a position there. There's and the opposition, the dark, our enemy. They want to win. They want to take over, and you have to defend your territory. And this is the same thing applies. So you have to know, how many soldiers are on the other side, what are their strength in the air power, the navy power, the marine power, the artillery, how many weapons they have, what is their strategy. What is their strategy? How they go? And the general of both sides, there is a general and there is a assistant general under him, lieutenants and major and all those. They provide the input from the field. What's going on there? How our strategy has to be shifted. So these are the things that I think spiritually very, very important for us to really keep in mind, but not to be fearful. I think that's the word I heard I hear from some of us, some of you, that, oh, it is I'm so afraid, this and that. I did not know that this enemy, this is a strategy of darkness, and this is how what I'm up against. And I think the fear is also an ingredient, is a something that they have put in our because of karma, because of negativity, because of our lifetime after lifetime, our associating with dark forces in our surroundings, every place. We have been infiltrated by these kind of elements in our thinking, in our feelings, and we kind of become part of that. The thinking we associate with them. So I think this is all that thing is everything that I've mentioned is true. What we have is what we have, and what we have is who we really are. Before we go to the strategy of light, we have to understand who we really are, what we are made up of, what is our source, where our strength comes from, where is where our power lies. So I think we're going to be talking about. I've made one more slide last night. That we shared with you one slide about the slide of the it's called the chart of the great I am. Then I thought last night maybe you should have another slide that goes with that. That how do you come from that point to really in our thinking, in our drawing that light, and how that light comes into our four Lord bodies. I think that is something that so I next 5-10 minutes I want to really go over that. Jay, can we have that the slide that we showed last time, the chart of the great I am, which has the two figures, one on the top and one on the bottom. And I like to explain to you one more time because we need to hear that. We need to understand that. We need to acknowledge that. And we need to draw that because once we know that, when we acknowledge that, we put our attention on that, this is our source, who we really are. So the top figure says the great I am or great Om. What's the difference between I am and Om? Yeah, that might be first question. You might be thinking, you might be thinking, well, we know about the Om, but I never heard about I am. I am is a divine ego, and the Om is the presence of divine ego in our heart chakra, in our four Lord bodies, as our identity. Om is a chanting, devotional mantra, which is really, it brings us in unison with our source. I am is the the way Saint Germain, one of the masters, he explained the difference between Om and I am. I am going to paraphrase that. He said that Om is more like a devotional. When you are enjoying that light, you are sitting there, you are receiving the light as a Om. You are in a meditational mode. You are chanting. You are just quietly. We just did that Om. How from the 3 or 4 flame we chant, and the 3 or 4 flame start spinning in the clockwise direction, and then the sound comes, and then the sound is a sound of the universal sound. We identify with that Om, and Om is the universal light, universal energy, universal power that comes to us. We become one with that. So that is when we are receiving that light, when we are actually one with that light. I am is when you are standing, when you are in a proactive mode. Om is, you can say that you are sitting mode, you are in a passive mode, so to speak, relatively speaking, active and passive when you talk about that. So you are like in a receiving mode. I am is when you are in an active mode of using that light. So I am is the source of our energy. That when Moses went on the mountain, he said, what is the name of God? When he got those 10 commandments, those tablets, and he said, but God, what should I tell these people when I go down to the mountain? They will ask me, what's the name of the God that gave you these tablets, those 10 commandments? And the voice came as Moses heard, tell them my name is I am that I am. I am that I am is as I am spirit, so I am in the matter. As I am above in the spirit plane, so I am below in the matter plane. As I am within, as I am without, I am outside, so I am inside. I am in the nature, I am in everywhere in the consciousness of God. God is says, I am my, I am. But this the simple part was really that God did not say my name is this or that, something else other than I am. Because the purpose of really was identifying the name is that you are I am. I am is not really impersonal name. It's a very personal name that God gave to us, his name himself, like a father. Last name of the father is, I say I am. So we all have the last name of our father, our first name and last name. So the last name is last name of the father. So this is the name of our father, our I am, father, mother, you can say both way. I am that I am. I am that I am is, you might be thinking, where does I am that I am came from? Before that it was Moses went to the mountain top 4,000 years ago. We knew this name in India, Om Tat Sat Om. Om Tat Sat Om is same as I am that I am. Om Tat, that means, truth. Om is, I told you Om, a God, and it's the name of God, identity of God. As I am Om, as I am truth in the spiritual plane, so I am true in the material plane. As I am truth, God says as a creator, so I am true in the creation. And that is the same thing applies to us. And that is the great I am. So what is the great I am? This is I am. What's the great I am? Great I am is our hub of our energy, our source in the great central sun. Great central sun is we live in planet Earth. Then there is a 9 planets, a solar system. Then there is a galaxy. Then there is a universe. Then there is a beyond that there is a cosmos, and beyond that is I don't know, something bigger than that. So this is our universe. This is the source or great hub, HUB hub, or the ocean or the sun, or our ocean, sun, great SUN sun, of the energy which our universe comes receives the light from it. Our planet Earth is connected to this universe. There are many other planets who are connected to this one also. There are 9 other planets. We are talking about the planet Earth. So we are connected with that, and you can see those strings that coming from that are the very important thing to remember. That strings. What are the strings? Those are called the crystal cords. I'll be talking to about as the threads that beats our heart. If that thread is disconnected, then person dies. Person returns back to no more beating in the heart. So that is why our heart beats, because the light comes from the source. Where is the light connected to the source? In the great hub, in the great I am, in the heart of the Father, Mother, God. Like a umbilical cord, connected to the heart of the mother. You can say that before the baby is born. So these threads are connected to the heart of the Father, Mother, God. What is the name of the Father, Mother, God? You might be thinking, what's the name of the Father, Mother, God? I thought it was, you might be thinking, well, I thought it was, this and that and this and that. And that is true. Whatever we knew about that, those the name of the Father, Mother, God. I'm not saying that is incorrect. The Father, Mother, God at the great central sun, their name that we know of, we don't know the real name, by the way, is Alpha and Omega. Alpha is the name of the Father, which is a Greek word. Omega is the name of the Mother, which is a Greek word. Alpha and Omega. You might have seen Omega watches. You might have seen Alpha companies, Alpha organization, Alpha different things, on the different things. Alpha is a spiritual part. Spiritual part of God is Alpha. Mother part of God is Omega. We all have a genes of Alpha and Omega. Father, Mother, God, plus minus Tai Chi. We call them by different names. So that is we are in a microcosm, and that is a macrocosm of our understanding over there. Now we come to the lower picture, the second picture, the I am individualization of the God flame. I am that I am. So that those balloons, they are your candles, so to speak, not balloons, but those candles that come like this, this is how they look like. Look like there is a, I'm just giving you this refresher. You might know this, but I think as a reminder that when we are dealing with the strategies of darkness, we have to know our strength, our source, the strategies of light. Where does this light come from? Who we really are. If we do not know who we really are, we just can't, we're going to shrink. We're going to be afraid. We're going to be fearful. We're going to be become like, I cannot do that. It's too difficult. Everything is this and everything is that. And, so this is our source. The colors that you see, that, the concentric rings on the top figure are the colors of your virtues, colors of the strength that God gave us from the very beginning. Alpha and Omega said these are your strength. When you it's like when like someone goes out of town to find to start a new career, new job. So your parents gave us some money. How you going to start your new place? So that is the kind of starting money. You can say those colors are these virtues. Each color represents a virtue. Like blue color represents the this power of God, the will of God, the strength of God. You can call that blue color. And then the innermost color is a white color. White color is the purity of God. So all those colors, pink color is a love of God. Yellow color is a wisdom of God. So these are wisdom of God means what? Wisdom of you as son and daughter of God. Strength of you in you as a strength in you, as a purity in you. So we have those ingredients, 7 colors of ingredients, that we have them as a seed, as a bija, as a beej seed. That's why we do bija mantras, because there are many deities that are connected to each of these color, that we can invoke them to increase the light. So that is the 7 colors. Then in the center there is a picture of the I am. It's called this profile of this whole thing. Looking in the I am that I am. Om Tat Sat Om is called Brahman. Remember the invocation that we heard today? Brahman, she said twice in her invocation. Then she also invoked the presence of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So in this picture, there is a top figure which says Om, right? That is behind that is the picture of Brahma. Brahma is there as a creator. Vishnu is there in this middle figure with the 4 hands. It's a Vishnu. Down in the third figure, bottom one, is a picture of you, and the violet flame around you is the presence of Shiva. Violet flame around you is the presence of Shiva. So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and they are again connected with the what? The crystal cord that goes from the heart of the lower figure to the heart of the middle figure to the heart of the top figure to the heart of the Alpha and Omega in the top figure that we just talked about, great central sun. So that is very, very important to know in retro perspective, that what we see is, we don't see that. You can say, well, I don't see that. How do I know that it's there? Those are the good questions. Lot of the things in the spiritual world, we don't see that. For example, I give you example. You have a television, you have a radio, you have a mobile phone, you have all those things. You don't see where the radiation is coming from. They're coming from, satellites orbiting around, and you're able to hear me right now because we are of the Zoom, and there is a radiation going through that, but we don't see them. Spiritual things are really, they're there in physical realm, but we don't see them unless we have honed our faculties, sharpened, purified our faculties to be able to see them. And that is what, we were like that once upon a time when we came to the very first time on this earth. As long as when we maintained our purity, we were able to see everything. But what happened is, because of negative karma, we made our chakras dense, our bodies dense, and we slowly forgot. We slowly became dense because kind of food we take, kind of energies, kind of media bombardment, kind of everything else going on in the world. So that kind of separated us from those kind of spiritual senses that we had. So this is let's go to the third one, the 3-4 flame in the heart that we talked about. So that is a threefold flame that we did in meditation. So this is where everything is anchored. This is very, very important thing to know. That's why when we do the meditation, when we do the decrease, we can put your right hand, like this, fingers, like thumb and two fingers over your heart or your threefold flame, to remind yourself that you are connected all the way down to the great central sun. That is one thing. To when you do your prayers, that's why we do namaskar. When you do like this, when you bend like this, we are bowing to the threefold flame in other people. Namaste, namaskar. When you respect them. When you go to holy temple, wherever you go there, we bow before the threefold flame of God. Did you know that there is a threefold flame? God has also Alpha and Omega have a threefold flame also, very large. In the what I understand is that in the great throne room at the great central sun, great throne room where Alpha and Omega sit there is a big replica in front of them, like you can imagine a big room, palace like thing, room. And in the center there is a threefold flame replica, very huge. I don't know, I don't know the size of it, but it's a huge replica of threefold flame in front of them, that they, that I assume that is their threefold flame, that we are connected to that. So that's when we put our hand like that during our prayers, during our meditation, during our reminder, during daytime, or any time. Remember that when you put your hand like that, you are putting your attention on the threefold flame in the heart of the great central sun, heart of the Father, Mother, God. And when we put our attention, wherever our attention goes, we receive the light or we give the light. So we are, in this case, we are receiving the light because there's a more light over there and we are receiving it. So the light flows from the where it is greater to the point where it is lower. So light flows like that. It's like it is the principle of the potential energy. You know that it's a physics. That's how the light and the water flows, from the higher level to the lower level until the level becomes the same. Then it stops. So let's go to the next picture that we have for you. That Jay, can you have the other picture? I think they have a other piece of paper that you put some more slides over there. I want to explain slightly about that particular one. Then we move on to our strategies of light and darkness portion, in a minute, because that slide will give us another perspective of the three figures. So this is the top figure, this is the top figure that we talked about that. Now the middle figure, we have, if we believe in Vishnuji or Hinduism, then we have a picture of Krishna or I mean Vishnu or Krishna or any Hindu deity. Then we have a picture of in the next, in the slide, second one is a picture of Jesus Christ, but it is a picture of Christ, Jesus Christ, but it is meant to be Christ's self. This is a picture of Vishnu Ji, but it's a picture of Vishnu consciousness, Vishnu self, Krishna consciousness. You can say that. So this is Guru Nanak Dev picture, but it represents a picture of Guru Nanak vibration, Guru Nanak consciousness. Then there is Zarathustra, picture of Zarathustra, which is in Parsi religion. It also represents a picture of Zarathustran consciousness. So consciousness is a really impersonal energy. How do you put something like that, in people's mind that, why do you have a four charts? I can have actually, we have a few more that I did not put them on yet. So they have, every religion could have a deity put there in the middle figure. That person, that deity represents the energy bandwidth, so to speak, of that spiritual vibration, or you can call it as a step down transformer. That energy band has the same vibration as your Atma, or your middle person. We call it top figure Paramatma, middle figure Atma, and the lowest figure, we coming to that in a minute, called Jivatma. Paramatma, top figure, middle figure Atma, and the lower figure Jivatma. The question is, what is the role of middle figure? Why we have middle figure? Why cannot be connected directly to the top figure? From Jivatma to the level of Paramatma. First of all, just to make it clarify that some people think Atma and Paramatma are the same. Not so. This is one of the things that Atma is immortal, Atma is Amar, Atma is sixth sense, conscious इसको बोलते हैं. This is my conscious. This is my internal inner guru, higher adult. We call it adult. The inner adult, inner guru, inner teacher, Atma. So we call the Jivatma as an inner child. So there's a difference between the Jivatma and Atma in that context. So please make sure that if next time somebody asks you that, you correct those persons. Atma is immortal. Jivatma was immortal when it was part of the Atma. When what is the meaning of part of the Atma? When they had the same vibration, they were vibrating at the same level. Then they were so Jivatma and Atma were one in that vibration, in that energy bandwidth. But because of Jivatma made some karma, it wanted to have its own free will. Jivatma demanded free will from Atma. Did you know that? And it was, why did you demand it? I want to go to the physical earth, I want to do my own thing. This was a subtle act of rebellion in Jivatma that she wanted to be. Why do you want to be outside of will of God, which is Atma? Atma is doing will of God. Jivatma says, I want to do my will. Why I want to do whatever, like a child saying to the mom and dad, the father, mother, when it goes to a different town, they said, please don't do this, please don't do that, please don't do that. When you go into a new town, the child says, well, okay, I will, I will not do. But when he goes over there, if, he just falls into bad company and he starts doing all those things. Well, he forgot about that free will that, that he says free will was only free will to be God. And then he uses his own free will, which is relativity free, and that is he made karma. So this is what we did because of the deciding to do my will. First of all, asking to Atma that I want to do my will. Can I have, I want to do my will. And that was there was a seed of rebellion. Where it came from, I will talk about it some other time. Why Jivatma thought about that. And we are all part of that. That's why we are here. So look at it at a personal level. So why we have the different figures in the middle figure, different figure of the saints or gurus in the middle figure, is that because we need to identify the energy bandwidth with a living person, living guru. All living gurus had the same vibration of the consciousness at the bandwidth, same as the purity, all of them. So we can say, I want Guru Nanak consciousness, I want Jesus consciousness, I want Krishna consciousness, I want Zarathustra consciousness, so and so and so forth. What we are saying is, I want to be, a word is that, here is the, I want to be Guru Nanak's self, Guru Nanak's consciousness, Guru Nanak's self, Krishna's self, Christ's self, Zarathustra's self, individualized self. So that is where the word came from, middle figure, individualization, individualized self in God. Individualization, self in God. Top figure is individualization. Middle figure is a individualization. It is a step down transformer, like a top figure is like a powerhouse. Middle figures are like a, step down before the power comes to your house. You have to 440 watts, and it's too much power. It can shock us, So it has to come to the level where we can use in our home. So this is where these middle figure, the middle guru, these are our teachers. If and they are same as your Atma. If you want to, if you feel like that way, identify with them as Atma. It's your higher self. It's your sixth sense. There's another word for that. If you do not want to use the name of the gurus, positive mental attitude, PMA, is also the same vibration of Atma. Positive mental attitude. Atma is always positive. Sixth sense is another word for that. We can say all that. There's another word for the middle figure, which is called immaculate concept. Immaculate concept is a perfection. Perfect. Immaculate concept is another word that you will be talking about that in a Sunday Master journey, that they use that word very, very commonly. Immaculate concept is holding the immaculate thought, immaculate feeling, immaculate person becoming that. immaculate person, immaculate, how you speak, So those are all the same things that are represented by the middle figure. Jay, can you raise up the next one? This is the you, the bottom figure. Again, it doesn't matter how the person is dressed up. That is dressed up as a in the Hindu dress, or in the Christian dress, or in a Sikh dress, or in a Parsian dress. That is the you. Most important part is the violet flame around you. Violet flame is power of Shiva, power of the Mahachohan, power of the cleansing that cleanses our the whatever karma we have made because of the our free will, misuse of the free will that we have, and it washes us so we can reunite with the middle figure. And then once we reunite with the middle figure, what happens then? Then middle figure is always immortal. Then we become infinite. Then we become one with God. I am Om Tat Sat Om. Then we become on a ascended master journey. We are pure. We are free from the vibration of the human, to deal with the, so in context with the strategies of light and darkness. This whole thing that I mentioned to you is very, very important for us to know our identity in our oneness with God. And the bottom figure, the lower figure is a threefold flame again. So threefold flame again is the key. I want to make sure that we do not miss the importance of the threefold flame and importance of the crystal cord. You can see the bottom figure from the top of their head goes something, the crystal cord, that is from the heart of the middle figure, then goes to the top of the top figure, then goes to the great central sun. This is our covenant, our covenant, our contract. God has a contract with us that I will not leave you comfortless. I will be always with you. I am that I am. So that crystal cord is our contract with God, that our heart beats because God is with me. And that is something, and that's whenever we do our decrees, whenever we do our prayers, whenever we do our strategy of light and darkness, that is something that we want to keep in mind. Okay, that's all I want to say. I'm looking at the watch, so I think next 45 minutes I want to finish, and the next thing, the strategies of light and darkness. So can we have Jay, that one, please? The strategies of light and darkness, session 3. It has been sent to you. I emailed to you yesterday. Poonam has also put on the WhatsApp. So I hope you have that one. If you miss it, if you want to speak recorded, you can actually look on the YouTube and also on the Facebook. It will be posted over there. So this is something that is, I think I want to be very, very quick. The highlighted portion, question. And just before that, all the strategies of dark ones involve you personally. I've said that before. Mark Prophet said that there are none who are not touched by them. So you probably know that, you have seen that, because but not in that manner. The 33 strategies, you may know one or two, or may not know, how they work, or what is the total kind of profile of them. But this thing will help you to understand that we are in battle against this dark strategy because of our misuse of our energy that we have created. We call it karma, and then we have association. We have to balance it, but we have to be ready for that. So question is highlighted. But do you know when they are at work in your life? And that is a $1 million, yeah, million rupees question. Do we know that? We don't. We don't know, because what we are doing is I think the key is really, how do we get ready? How do we know they are at work in our life? And it's not going to happen right away like a magic wand. It's going to happen slowly, gradually. It's a process. Life is a learning process. We learn from our mistakes. Sometimes we fall, sometimes we get up again, and we learn from it. So I'm going to read that answer. You shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free. So I explained to you the truth. Truth is I am that I am, who you really are. That's it. That's why I went over the whole thing, the truth. People may wonder, what is the truth? Truth is who who you really are as a son and daughter of God, as I am that I am. Okay. The knowledge and understanding of the truth, and it shall set you free. So it's not just knowing that, the knowledge and understanding and then applying it. you know, I'm going to continue that. The truth of the individualized presence of God in you as a threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power anchored in your heart when followed by the right action. Right action is very important. Otherwise, it will stay in your mind. It will stay in your brain. You can give good lecture, but we will not be able to put into action. Everything that is not put into action is a half baked. It's not going to. It's, what good is a strategy if we if we cannot win. There's a Sunday master. His name is Mighty Victory, and he says, victory is not only for just chanting, you say call and go and use it and apply it, and he will be there to help us to be victorious. That is the quality of every Sunday master who have become victorious. Okay, I'm going to read that. Again, the answer, the fourth line. Uh, by the right action separates the okay, I'm going to have to read the whole thing. The truth of the individualized presence of God in you as a threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power anchored in your heart chakras, when followed by the right action, separates unreal, which is negative, dark forces, situation from real, from positive, light situation in our lives. Now, this is something that very important. The challenge of darkness should not be feared or avoided. And that's why I think I have talked to some of you on the phone, and I sense the vibration of fear or sense of ignoring. Oh, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, सभी करते हैं, अगले जन्म में देखेंगे, next life we'll see that. Why worry? Those are the thoughts of the dark forces. Okay, the challenge of the darkness should not be feared or avoided, but neither should we go out of our way to seek it out. That is also important. As we become more and more of the light, the confrontation with darkness will come to us. It is simply part of the spiritual path. So that is what it is. Then we go to the developing the 3Ds, which is the threefold flame. I want to go over with it very quickly. Then we have a decree that I want to do that. The balance the threefold flame in me. Jay, can you roll it up a little bit, please? And we do that decree. But this is very important. This part is threefold flame. I'm stressing that again and again and again, because this is where we start. This is where we prepare ourselves. This is where we recognize. This is where we understand. This is where we put into action after that, whatever we learn. So Buddha Maitreya, Lord Maitreya is a guru. He spoke of the 3Ds of discernment, discrimination, and determination. These 3Ds form a threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power. Discernment is a mind, yellow ray. Discrimination is a heart, is a pink ray. Determination is action, is a will, is a blue ray. So mind, as a thought, as an understanding, but also understanding from the heart, discrimination from the heart, which is the pink ray. And once you understand, when you become that, then you have to go into, your will becomes God's will. Then you are ready to deal with it. You are able to, your threefold flame is balanced. Your threefold flame is balanced, is spinning. You hear the voice. When you have balanced threefold flame, you have a balanced wisdom. You have a balanced love. You have a balanced power. You are able to hear the inner voice. Normally, we don't hear the inner voice because we have threefold flame is not balanced. It's so dense. It's not spinning maybe because it's not balanced. So why we don't hear the silence voice, our conscious, our Atma, is because our threefold flame is imbalanced, because we misused it and we became so dense and we did not even know that we had a threefold flame. So now we know we are coming home back. We are going the path of the homeward journey. And that's why we have to know. I'm going to read that. Discernment is when we know the spectrum of strategies and recognize them in our lives. So we have we have choices. Should I take this way? Should I go that way? Should I go? Should I, should I travel? Should I take a job? Should I take go tomorrow? Should I go next way, next day, next month? All the things. So discernment gives you the spectrum of choices, strategies. Then you make your right decision based upon your, what you call the practicality. You can say that in practical. What is practical for me to do? Discrimination is when we perceive which one is at play. Discrimination is when we perceive which what which strategy of darkness is at play. Which strategy of darkness is play. So what is like an army general? What they are playing? What they are going to come this way. It's at night. Or so we're going to be talking about that some other things. In a minute. So you have to know the discrimination is know which is their strategy, what is their strategy, and what should be your strategy. So now up in number one, number of strategies you have. Now I want to say which one of these that you have chosen that you want to use now here. Determination is when we resolve to use this knowledge to overcome the darkness. This is the action part. Then we act on it. So you will get to know this as you kind of, as you go over this process next couple of weeks. It will take this discernment, discrimination, and determination, because these strategies can be subtle. And this is the reason why we don't know them, because they are very subtle. They are, and enemies also knows very, that he's not going to, make any noise or let you know that. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. The weakness says in our psychology can leave us vulnerable to these intrigues, to these strategies. So one thing to do is psychology. I mentioned about that, very important. Psychology is our outlook, how we perceive things, how we can say right is wrong and wrong is right, because our psychology. We can misread in the strategies, because our psychology is like a lens, like a color lens. You can say that we see things the way kind of color of the lenses that we are wearing in the glasses. We don't see things as they are. So we need to have the lenses very clear. Removed from all the colors, coloration, all the dirt and everything else around it. So how we do that? You might be thinking, well, one thing I suggest you is, of course, there's a degree to build Kutumi. Kutumi is a master psychologist, a Sunday Master Kutumi. 7.10a, we talked about that degree. I am light, glowing light degree. Other things, you may want to see a psychologist, who deals with the lot of psychologists in the world that treat psychology as a condition of the mind. Not so. Psychology is a condition of the soul. Soul is different from the mind. People in a lot of psychologists, they get their degrees from colleges, universities, and they practice as the psychology of the study of the mind. Something with the mind, something not working in the mind, and this and that and that. Not so. Don't go to psychologists who will tell you about the psychology, the study of or disconnect or something not working with the mind properly. It's very important to deal with the soul, inner child. Okay. Next one, please, Jay. Can you raise it up a little bit more? So this is the decree. Can we make it bigger, Jay? I think I want to do this decree one time. I'm looking at the watch, but I think this decree is important. I want to do it. Is it possible to do that or no? Maybe not.
So it will take a little time.
Okay, I'll come back. Let me read the yellow portion. When you are ready, then we come back. The greatest mistake you could make is to think that these strategies might not work through you, or that they do not apply to you. I think I read that before. It would be a mistake to apply them to others and to assume that this one or that one is a fallen because they seem to fit the description of out picture in the one of the strategy. Please don't judge people, because we tend to do that this person is this or this person is that, and then we have fallen into the trap. The dark forces want to condemn us, teach us how to condemn others. So this is what we do not want to do. That we do not want to. So this is why I have highlighted this. I think I emailed to you the strategies. Okay, we are ready. So let's give that decree before we move forward, because that decree is a key entree. That is the first thing that that we should be doing. And I think if you do not have it, Poonam already posted that. So last week she also put it on the bigger size, by decree by itself 20.03. Let's give it together. In the name of the beloved, mighty, victorious presence of God, I am in me, which is a threefold flame, and my very own beloved Holy Christ self. I call to beloved Helios and Vesta and the threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power in the heart of the great central sun. To beloved Moria L, beloved Lord Lanto, beloved Paul the Venetian, beloved mighty victory, beloved goddess of liberty, and the seven mighty Elohim, beloved Guru Ma and Lanelo, the entire spirit of the great white brotherhood, and the word mother, elemental life for air, water, and earth. To balance, blaze, expand, and intensify the threefold flame within my heart until I am manifesting all of thee and not of the human remains. Take complete dominion and control over my four lower bodies and raise me and all life by the power of the 3 times 3 into the glorious resurrection and ascension in the light. In the name of the Father, the Mother, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I decree. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Beloved, I am. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Take thy command. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Magnified each hour. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Balance the threefold flame in me. Love, wisdom, and power. I think in the footnote down there in this decree, there is a, so you can replace the word balance with expand and blaze and intensify. You say that blaze, you can replace it with blaze, expand, and intensify. So please do that. Again, replace the word balance with blaze, replace the word balance with the expand. I mean, blaze, expand. Blaze meaning is giving bigger. Expand means blazing means it has lots of intensity, it's growing bigger. Expand means expanding, in all direction, and intensifying means intensity is increasing it's becoming more blue, more yellow, more pink, like that. So do that 3 times each, and then you can do the let's do the closing. And in full faith I constantly sub this manifest, manifest, manifest. And in full faith I constantly sub this manifest, manifest, manifest. And in full faith I constantly sub this manifest, manifest, manifest. Right here and now with full power, eternally sustained, all powerfully active, ever expanding and word enfolding until all are holy and yet the light and free. Beloved I am, beloved I am, beloved I am. Please remember to give this closing very important. As you give the preamble important, the body important, and also the closing important. So all three parts are very important to be given. Okay, let's go to our presentation back, Jay, where we left off. I want to see how far we can go into the covering the strategies of light and darkness. Back where we were on that page. I think we are going to be starting on number 9, I believe. Yeah, strategy number 8, I think. Yeah, number 8. Number 9. Okay. Last time we talked about, I think I do not have in this one. Last time we talked about number 9. Okay. Yeah. We talked about up to 8. So number 9 is you have to be perfect before you are acceptable. This is what the forces of darkness will be. I'm not perfect. And the human, what is the human perfection? I'm going to read that from this book. What is it? What is the masters have said about the perfection of the human? What is the meaning of the outer perfection versus the inner perfection? Oh, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Number 7. Thank you. I was wondering why I have a different and you have a different one. So seven, strategy number 7 is condemnation. Condemnation is, condemnation of, I think we talked about that so and so is this and so is bad and so is this. A lot of people talk about, when the people talk about gossip, gossip it includes three things: criticism, condemnation, and judgment. Criticism, condemnation, and judgment, they go together. We call them CCJ. Criticism, condemnation, and judgment of others, the light in others. So you are actually knowing that we are beings of light. When we talk about the other people, or the dark forces talk about, the teachers talk about the other people, we are condemning the light in others. We are making bad karma, first of all, but we are putting ourselves in the lower level. So that is one thing that the dark forces use to, and no one has told us that condemnation is attacking the light in others, because we are beings of light and everyone else has a threefold flame also. So we are actually putting other one down also, that this person is bad, this person is evil, this person is that. So we are putting the light in other person, down, which is what? Which is like black magic. We are putting black magic on others, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. When you put other people, condemn others, we are sending them black magic energy. We are cursing them. We are cursing them, and we are making, they are going down, and we are going down with them. So what is the strategy of light? Do not accept the condemnation. Do not accept it. Do not give it. Do not accept it from others. How do you say I do not accept it? You say, you want to say that you want to put your tube of light when you are protected in your light consciousness, when you are in the I am that I am vibration, you are not accepting it. I think Gautama Buddha gave it teaching, if somebody curses you, and he said, if somebody curses you, he says, you don't have to take it. You don't have to, I don't know, thank you, I don't want it. You don't have to accept it, simple as that. But a Sunday Master's teaching we have is, when we have so much light, when we have so much light, when we are growing in the I am that I am, when we begin to practice our decrees, our threefold flame, we do not accept the light. It's just like an arrow that comes and it attacks you and then it drops down. It doesn't hurt you. And that is the tube of light decree that we give. I think we in decree 1.30, we have a tube, very short tube of light decree. Beloved, I am present, bright, that portion. So next one is recognize it and roll it back. As we talked about that, we can roll it back. Is I don't accept it. By how do you say I don't accept it? You have to be in so much in light, imbued with the light, that it just comes and it doesn't affect you. You just stay as you were before. But when we are not like that, we are not prepared fully in the light, then we feel bogged down. We feel sad, we feel sorry, we feel hurt, we feel this and we feel that, And this is where we are today. We want to get to that point where it doesn't affect us. Right now it affects us. There's a hurt. And masters have given us the tools, the decrees to how to protect ourselves. We don't get hurt, and then we come to a point where it doesn't affect us at all later on. Number 3 bullet, the human self is never good enough. Replace it with the divine. That's what I was saying. I am that I am is a divine consciousness, becoming more of the divine. Number 4 is connect with your real self. I am presence, the higher self, and is good enough. That's why this picture of the I am presence chart that we went through. Connect. How do you connect with yourself? Give your tube of light decree. I talked to you about the tube of light decree is very, very important to reconnect with that. And then last bullet is do not allow yourself to fall into the trap of condemning others. That is black magic again. We do not, because or somebody curses me, I have to curse him back, I have to, and that's what we do, that tit for tat. We get trapped into that, and then we think about that, even our thoughts and our feelings, our decrees sometimes, masters have told us, it's not only that we make the black magic or karma, negative karma with our mouth, with our hands, with our feelings, and with our mind. So that is the next level of perfecting our mind and our feelings, but that comes afterwards. First of all, we have to watch our mouth, that is because we make most of the karma with our tongue, with our mouth. So let's give this one together. This is a very important fiat. In the name of my mighty I am presence, I encircle the thought form that I am dumb or stupid or incapable of performing this assignment. In the name of my mighty I am presence, my higher self is good enough and it is acting through me now. So I am that I am. You can chant the mantra, I am that I am Krishna, I am that I am Durga, I am that I am Shiva, I am that I am, or simply I am that I am, or simply Om Tat Sat Om. Om, Om Tat Sat Om Sanat Kumara, Om Tat Sat Om, any Guru's name after that. When you take a Guru's name after that, after Om Tat Sat Om, yeah, after I am that I am, you are invoking the presence of that Guru with your I am presence vibration to coming to you as your sponsor, as your guru, as your teacher, as you're giving you booster. You know what a booster shot. If he gives you another injection of light from the guru, from the name of the guru. So I am that I am Shiva. I am that I am Shiva. Feel the difference when you say I am that I am. I am that I am, and when you say I am that I am Shiva. I am that I am Durga. You feel much more light coming from the heart of the guru to yourself. Number 8, flattery. Flattery and condemnation are the two sides of the same coin. People who will flatter you, next day they're going to condemn you. It's called idolatry. People do not know that idolatry is really people look at you as an idol, good or bad. Like a movie star. We make movie star, as our idol. That movie star and that movie star, or that politician or that politician, and we like them when they're doing good things. But when they're not doing good things, then we condemn them. I don't like them. I don't like. So it is the same coin, has two sides of the same coin. When people flatter you, be careful. This is dark forces. How wonderful you are, how great you are, how intelligent you are, how much light you have, how much they say, people will, come and, Guru Ma talked about that. Guru Ma talked about that quite a big. He says, the coin, the sign of flattery is that day is not far off when they're going to condemn. Same person is going to condemn you. He's so and that, he's bad, he's not that good, he's this, he's that, I don't like him, and it's that, So it's like a story of, excuse me for saying that, my mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, something like that, always there are stories like that, Initially there's a honeymoon, they like each other, and then after a while, condemnation starts, So that is the human psychology, dark forces, light forces, So what are the light forces? About strategy number 8. Should we say? Be humble in your individualized presence of God. Be humble. It's very difficult to become humble when they get spiritual knowledge, and that is the biggest trap. They become bold. They become proud. They become at a subtle level. They hide behind the mask. There's something called false humility. False humility, they, like the politician, they want a vote, they want your vote, they come and they will do everything, they will be, it's false humility. When they get elected, they're different. Putting the different kind of mask. So false humility, mask of false humility. People do that. And we talk about ourselves now. We are not talking about the other. We are giving that thing. We are applying to ourselves. How do I become, when I become more spiritually, I have to become more humble. I have to true, because who is the most humble person in the universe? Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. Alpha is the most powerful father, mother. Omega is the most powerful mother in the universe. And masters have told us they are the most humble person in the universe. Gautama Buddha is the most humble person for the planet Earth. That's why he was given the job of becoming the head of the planet Earth. Ascended Master Chananda is the head of India. Why he was chosen as the head of India? because he is the most humble person, was chosen to become the head of India. So more humble a person is, the more light he can carry, more light is given, more authority, more empowerment, more responsibility, more whatever is given. Simple as that. That's why we have the word minister, prime minister, chief minister, all those words. Minister means server, so means serving others. But in real sense, we're not going to go there, but we are applying to ourselves. As you grow more in light with your I am presence, and you will, and you are growing as you become more of the light, you become more I am that I am, more of the true self. You will come through this test, flattery. People will come and they flatter you, and and be mindful that that's your test, that you have to be mindful that what is the pitfall of that, and look at in others also. When other people are getting the mental, look at them also same way, that they are getting that, how they are, how you can help them. So you become an example to follow for them. So you become humble, and this is the golden age civilization. Satyug mein yahi hota hai. This is the way it always happening, and this is the way. So always give glory to God for each accomplishment. I have talked about that. Whatever happens in you, your own mind. Some people applaud you, and people clap you, and they say, well, and you don't feel like you did it. You say, well, God, thank you, God, glory to God. I did not do it. God did it, and you have to remind yourself. You have to say that. If you don't say that, then it slowly builds upon you. Number 9, you have to be perfect before you are acceptable. So we were talking about that. So the outer perfection is the mechanical perfection. That's not we are looking for. Yeah, I'm looking at the light side of it. We are not perfecting the human. We are not mechanical. We are not perfecting the human. We are perfecting divine, threefold flame. So you are becoming God in here. That keep growing in consciousness. Very important thing. Number 3 highlighted that. Keep growing in consciousness, in positivity. Keep getting closer to God. Keep moving upward. You will no longer be in the same place in consciousness. Very important. Keep moving in the consciousness. I'll say that to you from another level. When you are decreeing, if you use the same place for decreeing, masters have told us we should shift our place, not be using the same place, because the dark forces know you will be sitting over there every day, and they will project their darkness at that place, at the same place. So keep shifting your place. Have some you have 2 or 3 or 4 places in your room where you meditate, your puja room. I know you have an altar there. You cannot move the altar, but be mindful of that. I think the dark forces know that, and they project when you are sitting on the puja altar. They will project your and their energy at you to divert your mind to this or that, or that problem or that problem, and you won't be able to concentrate, because this is how you might be wondering why I'm not able to do good puja today, why I was not able to concentrate today, and that is one of the reasons. So use that, maybe as a you have portable altar, put a portable altar in different place, and I do my decrees. Sometimes I'm sitting, sometimes I'm walking. I'm doing my decrees while walking also, for the same reason. So this is why keep moving upward, and keep growing in consciousness. That's how it applies, because dark forces are very, I won't say clever, but they're very cunning. They kind of like to, project. They can project their thoughts from wherever they are, in this universe. They know where you are. You're growing up in life. Anyway, number 10, I have to do this myself. This is another thing that has something that people want to do the things, alone. Yeah, a lot of things you do it alone, because you have to do it alone. But sometimes when you are having trouble doing alone, it's okay to ask others, And I'm looking at the other side of the light. First bullet, claim your link in the chain of hierarchy of the ascended master. So when we are doing ourselves, we have cut ourselves from the hierarchy. I can do it alone. So it could be ego, human ego. It could, so I acknowledge that why you want to do it alone. Acknowledge that. and why you need help, so don't be shy of asking help. Number two, don't be solitary climber. That is another, it's a ego. I want to put the flag over there in the Himalayan, Mount Everest, because I want to, I think that this happens when people, or in the game. I think I saw the Chuck the India, and then there was a part in that the one of the player wanted to score the goal because she wanted to be go in the record book as she was the one who scored it. I want to be alone. So team effort is forgotten. I want to be alone. It's called solitary climber. That is also another human ego element there. Be humble enough to get help. Be humble enough to get help. That is again humility, spiritually and otherwise. Be humble enough to teamwork. You cannot do it alone, and that keeps you humble. Number 11, self-absorption. This is very important. I was reading about that self-absorption, and I said, what does it? My understanding of self-absorption was different. I'm going to read that to you. I'm going to read that to you, 2 paragraphs from what the book says. The plot here is to get you overly introspective so that you pay so much attention to yourself that you do not pay attention to the world and its needs. Some introspection and self-examination are necessary and healthy and are to be encouraged on the path of initiation. But it is easy to become overly self-absorbed. And the second paragraph explains that a little bit more. How do we tell the difference? We know it by vibration. Ask yourself, quote, do I spend a lot of time living in the past or the future? Unquote. If we do spend a lot of time living in the past or reliving in the past or living in the future and not in the present, we are not placing our attention where it needs to be. And that is something that I think a lot of us can learn from it, that self-absorption is living in the past, when I was young or when I was old or when I was, this, I did that. And, people do that because it's, again, why people do that? Psychology. That's all. So also the second part is paying attention to the world. Almoria has said that, I'm going to come to the strategy of light here. First bullet, lose yourself in service, the path of the ruby ray. So that is very easy to say that, do more service. Almoria has said something to that effect. He says, if you have problems, write your problems on a piece of paper, and put it, fold it, and put his picture, Wallace-size picture on top of it, put on the right knee, put your hand over it, and then you say, give the decrees to the world situation that needs more. I will take care of your problem. While Moria says accordingly, whatever problem is. So your mind will be off of your problems. So you can be working about the problem of the world, of India, or problem of this, or air pollution, or this or that, or there are many problems in India. Water pollution, food, vaccination, this and that, and all those people, different things happening. So he says, write your problem on a piece of paper, fold a piece of paper, put a picture of Wallace-size picture of Almoria. Please call Poonam if you do not have a picture of Almoria, or you can copy from the Google and print it out, Wallace-size picture, and put it on top of that folded letter. Then give decrees to any decree, 10.03 or 10.08 or any decrees that you want to do. So then Almoria says he will take care of our personal problems. So we do not have to be thinking about our problems, always praying to God for problem. Help me, God. We don't think about what's happening in India and what's happening in the situation with China and other countries around India. So that is very important teaching for us to be mindful of that. Number 12, the downward spiral. What is a downward spiral? The downward spiral is, I'm going to read that a little bit here also. It's an example of I think I gave the example of a frog. When you put a frog in the boiling water, is not going to, it's a bad example to give, by the way, frog. Who wants to put a frog in a boiling water? I don't want to do that. But this example, just as a theory. So, the water is very hot. The frog is going to not like it. He's just going to, feel, I want to get out of that. But if you put the frog in the cold water and let the water get warm slowly, 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 what will happen is that if as the water, he'll like the water cold. He will like he may not like the cold water. He will like the cozy water. He will like, "Okay, this feels good." Then as the water is getting warmer and hotter, then he's going to become uncomfortable. And he wants to get out. So this is the strategy of the dark forces. This is the main point to remember, that they do not, sometimes they use a create a situation of eat, drink, and be merry and enjoy yourself. Go out, enjoy yourself. You can go to Gurdwara, you can go to Mandir, you can go to church next tomorrow or next week or next, later on. So, and then people become accustomed to that easiness. They don't go to Gurdwara, they don't go to temple, they don't go to, because their life. So this is a strategy of making us accustomed very slowly, slowly, to we don't think of threefold flame, we don't think of who we really are, we don't, So that is called the downward spiral. It starts going down and down and down. There are 33 levels below the level of the heart. So we are going down now on one of those 33 levels. Instead of going to 33 levels up the level of the heart, which are the positive levels of becoming I am that I am. Okay, the strategy of light. Number 12. Be alert and keep in an upward spiral. So keep your momentum going. Keep your momentum going with your decrease. Keep your momentum going with your reading. Keep your momentum going what you're building up. You lose it, slowly, it's gone. We have to rebuild again. The master says momentum. Kutumi has talked about quite a bit about momentum. It's a very, very important thing to build. Number 2, bullet, create your own profile in holiness and Godhood. Who you really are. You can write your book, your journal about your Christhood, about your Godhood, about your who you really are, your positive experiences. Write, think about then how you had how many victories you had every day. Masters have talked to us about that. Think about your profile. I am a son, a daughter of God. I am holy. Give the positive affirmation. I am victorious. And feel good about yourself because you have a threefold flame. I tell you something, very personal. I feel myself, as compared to a lot of my friends here in America, they have much more material accomplishments, bigger houses, bigger cars, more money, more profile, more status, more everything, whatever you want to name it. They have it. Very, this is good. It is good thing. Maybe it's good karma that they need to have that, I speak from a different angle. I say that what I have is the knowledge of the threefold flame, knowledge of the I am that I am, knowledge of the Sunday Master's teachings, and doing this work for the brotherhood, a Sunday Master, great work brotherhood, is far more richer, far more meaningful, far more important than anything else. I would like you to think that way. This is going to be your something that can energize you, keep energizing you, keep refueling you, giving you strength, giving you self-worth in God. A Sunday Masters have told us that in order to understand this teaching about the threefold flame, about the I am that I am, one has to balance at least 25% of the karma or more. People who have not balanced that much karma, they will come and go in and out, revolving door, because so think of that as you have balanced 25% or more of karma, and you can balance the rest of it, on the upward spiral. And so between 25 and 51% karma is our goal to balance, so we can make our moksha in this life. We can balance the remaining 49% from the ascended realm. We do not have to balance 100% of the karma as it used to be before Saint Germain and Mighty Victory and some masters, Lords of Karma, gave us this dispensation, this gift, that we can balance only 51% of the karma in this lifetime, in this embodiment, and we can make our moksha, our ascension, because nobody wants to come back and in next life, because we do not know when we come next life, where we will be, whether we find a teaching or we'll go backwards. Maybe we lose some more ground that we have gained. So please, those are some of the things that masters have told us, So I'm going to mention that keep your own profile in holiness and Godhood. Next, third bullet is number 12. Rise up and lead by example. Others will follow. Rise up and lead by example. Others will follow. And because how the other will follow? You will get rid of your company of the friends that you have, that you are gossip oriented, gappe marne wale the. Those people will go away from your life. You will be magnetized to people of higher vibration that think like-minded people. You will be amazed that, all the people that you were hanging around the parties and going this and going that place, you say, no, no, thank you. I'm not, because you want to protect your light. You want to guard your light. You do not want to go to the, because it's very easy to lose that light in a minute. It can take you hours to build that light. And in few minutes, you can lose that light and you feel like, oh my God, I feel drained again. I don't want to go there again. And these are the lessons that we learn, because life is a process. But it's all right if you have fallen many times. You can get up again one more time. We all have, I have, all of us. But lesson is there. We have to get up and keep on doing, because we know the strategy of light and darkness now. So we have one more reason to live by example. You will magnetize people, like-minded people, to your light. They'll come and ask you, what are you doing? You're different. Then you tell them, okay, you want me to tell you? I'll tell you. Tell him about your Sunday message teaching, the threefold flame. And you find a new friend. Okay. Number 13, the lie of relative good and evil. I highlighted that. So this is something very important. Why I highlighted that? Because we live in the world of relativity of good and evil. There's no one is perfect. We know, masters know that. And people tell us, thoda bahut love hai, thoda bahut, thoda bahut, little bit of love, little bit of hate, it's all right. Everybody does that, And we do not know the definition of absolute love and zero hate. Absolute love is 100%. It's no relative over there. Relative is little bit of that, little bit of that, and again, जब चलता है सभी करते हैं, and I have heard that many times. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? ये है वो. He did that, she did that. I have to do the same thing. We do not have to follow them. We do not have to follow the relative word of love and hate. You go to Bollywood movies, you see this, you see a novel, you read a book, you see friends, you see this. Every place, everything is relative. So where do we find? Oh, bada mushkil hai, absolute. It's very difficult. Well, I know it's difficult. I know. I consent with you, but I'm telling you, you can fall few times, but you can get up. But you will have the master's angels on your side. You have the decrees with you. You have the reading of the masters. You have the so much more to know the strategy of light and darkness, and to avoid those kind of company, avoid those kinds of people, and live in the company of master through meditation. I am that I am chanting. With different Krishna has given a teaching on dweller and threshold, binding of the dweller. Durga has talked about a binding on dweller and threshold. So in addition to the decree that 20.03 that we gave, another decree to give is binding the dweller on the threshold 20.09. Another decree is a psychology decree. I tell you 7.10a to beloved Kutumi. So you can find more as you find more and more time. You can say, well, there are so many decrees I cannot do. You do not have to do all the decrees on a given day. You can do one day, other day, and third day. So assign your time, but everything can be done. The dark forces is a dweller on the threshold. Is a dark force agent in us. he's an advocate of the dark forces in us. The dweller on the threshold. He doesn't. He's anti-God. In us that we have created. We have to know that it's a human mind, synthetic mind, rational mind, carnal mind, negative mind. You name it. It's called the dweller on the threshold. We have to eliminate him. We have to get him out in pieces. It's a huge monster in us, that makes our soul, very vulnerable. Okay. Number 13, positive side. Be not be moved by relative good and evil. I've talked about that. Become like a rock. This is another mantra. I shall not be moved. Like a rock, like a big rock. It's a very heavy rock. You cannot move it, So it become like a rock in God consciousness. You have no dark forces can move you. I shall not be hurt. I shall not be moved. That is a mantra that Mark Prophet used to give us. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. You can chant it. I shall not be moved. When something happens, something difficult comes to your way, write this kind of small mantras on your mirror, in your bathroom or in your refrigerator or someplace where you can look at them and chant them. I shall not be moved. Chant it, as many, and because you're going to need them. We all going to be needing them. Okay. Third one, trust in God and tie yourself to the absolute reality of God. Trust in God. People say, well, पता नहीं होगा क्या नहीं होगा, पता नहीं ये सब तो बोलते रहते हैं, it's very difficult. I have this problem, sir, you have no problem. He is not this, he is that, he's America. We all say, so in America, he's punctual, so in army, he's punctual. Masters have said the rule, what one man can do, all can do. Our human mind, dark forces will try to give us excuses. For this, always exception to the rule, he is different. I cannot do that. And this is another tool of dark forces. We have to know that. So trust in God and be yourself in the absolute reality of God. So I'm going to stop 7 o'clock. I think maybe we'll continue from that point onwards next time. 13, strategy 14 onwards, So, Poonam, Jay, any questions? Hello?
Sir, 1 minute. I'm unmuting Poonam. Just give me a minute.
Yeah. Okay. We have Satija ji hai, so welcome, Satija ji. Nice to have you with us. See if I have everyone covered. Oh, okay, ji. My friend, welcome. Yeah, namaskar. Yeah.
Hello,
Nice
sir.
to have you. Okay, let's have. I think it's 7 o'clock, so I want to see any question. Otherwise, I have more time left. I might come back and cover 1 or 2 more strategies. But let's have anyone has a question. So.
जेपी सर, आपको कोई क्वेश्चन है? जेपी सर, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
Is he unmuted?
Yes. बिलिंडा जी, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
No, sir, I don't have any questions, but a very beautiful session. A lot of insights, like especially what you shared about changing the place of the decrees. That is something I have experienced. So it's good to know that, and and it's very beautiful. A lot of awareness, a lot of insights. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, welcome. Hello? Hello?
नीलिमा जी, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
नहीं पूनम, मैंने ज्वाइन ही बहुत लेट किया था काफी, क्योंकि कहीं गई हुई थी.
Okay.
Let me.
Do you have any question?
No, for now I don't have any question. I also came very late. I went to work and I didn't finish up on time and I came in very late. But for now, I'll go through the video if it's posted, and I don't have any question. If I have anyone, I'll reach him directly.
JP sir, आपका कोई question है?
Let me say something. Yeah. I realized that I was missing you earlier because you are the first one normally. Come to.
I went to work. I went to work and
thank you.
I didn't finish up only on time. Thank you very much.
Thanks again. And Nilamaji, also it's the same thing. I know. Please listen to the recording of that. I think you'll find it. I think it's maybe listen to all 3 of them. I think this is the 3rd one, so maybe you can listen to the first one, second one, third one. I know they are too long, but listen to them by portions. Whatever you can, and then I think you'll be up to date. Okay, Poonam.
Anji sir, JP sir on the line.
हाँ जी.
JP sir.
I think he's having problem with the.
Okay.
Okay.
मोहिनी जी आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
जी, no question. Thank you, sir. Sat Shri Akal. Thank you
जी
very
सत
much.
श्री अकाल. Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
सर हो गया.
Okay, so I think I'll stop it here. Tomorrow Sunday we have a dictation from RKI Hope. RKI का मतलब है Archangel, twin flame Archangel called RKI. It's a beautiful dictation. It's about 12 minutes long, but it's very profound. I will talk more about it tomorrow. You do not want to miss it. There's something very special. That was dictation was the first dictation at the conference that we had. The New Year conference that we just had last month, So I think it opens up doors to many things. I have posted that dictation also on the Facebook. What I do is every Sunday, whatever dictation we play, on the video, I summarize it and I also put it on the Facebook so people can read that simultaneously. So please do read that if you have time to go to Facebook, and so. With all that, so I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Who would like to make the ceiling? Poonam or Jay? Whoever feels up to it.
सर जय करेगा.
Okay, Jay, your turn, please.
In the name I am that I am, in the name of light of God that never fails, we seal this session with God of light of God, and we ask all the masters, angels, and all the devas and deities to come and overshadow us during the day, to keep us protected and to keep us in line with the light of God, which never fails. That we in God's holy will. Amen. Om.
Amen. Om Tat Sat. Thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.